Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Yard Show. Tonight, my guest is Yard Sale Hunter, aka Kyle.
Hey everyone,
So,
glad to be here.
as you all know, it's now a Wednesday night show. I am still debating if I'm gonna have a show next week in the 30th, but I will decide that before the end of the weekend and let you all know.
Today, I can work with anyone.
Oh boy, I keep forgetting that part. And as I was saying, so I don't know if I'm gonna have a Christmas party and a New Year's show or not, but I will decide. I do have some good news for everybody that's watching and that's been wondering. The wife has gotten clearance. She will be having neck surgery January 4th. So I will decide then what I'm going to be doing with the shows at that time. And due to Kyle's technical issues earlier, he's trying to use his phone, so we will see how this goes tonight. So introduce yourself, Kyle, to the people that don't know about you and your videos and everything else.
So, I'm 14. I make videos about reselling, collecting, and all sorts of things. Oh, I think my camera's off. All right, so pretty much anything related to reselling. I go to film myself going to yard sales. I film my hauls. I do all sorts of stuff like that, and yeah.
Well, okay. Well, this is I didn't actually write this question down, but what got you into doing videos?
The what got me into doing videos is I was just one day I was like looking for. I was really like, into eBay that day and stuff. I was wanting to make some money. So I looked up items that sell on eBay, and I ran across Pete's channel, and I was watching a bunch of his videos, and I just thought, how cool would this be to make videos like him? So I made videos. I first watched a lot of Pete, and then I ended up finding Chad, which then I found Mike and Ronnie and Dusty and all them and stuff. So I just wanted to live the dream like they were and stuff, and I don't know. I thought it would be fun, and it is. So I'm happy.
And what actually got you into reselling itself?
Back when I was probably 10, I went to a few auctions and yard sales with my dad, and I was just looking for anything cool. And at home, I knew I had a lot of little small items that I could put into boxes, and I needed some boxes. So I went to the auction and I found some old tins and tobacco tins and fruit tins or whatever, and I thought I was going to put some trinkets in there and stuff. I ended up collecting those for probably 2 years. I think I sold off my collection not that long ago, and I made some good money. And my dad paid for all the tobacco tins and stuff. I didn't use any of the tobacco or anything, but it was all empty when I got it. So I ended up selling the collection. I think I made maybe $800 off the total collection, which is now what I use to buy some items and stuff.
Okay. And so then, are you into sports or anything like that for school? Because I know most teenagers don't want to work, so they want to either sit around, play video games all night, or go out and do things, but they don't want to work.
uh, I mean, I don't do that much sports. I'm gonna try out for the ultimate frisbee team in the spring. I do a little bit of hockey in the winter, and I also ski in the winter.
Oh, okay. So you want to do all the good sports stuff. You don't want to be like all the other teenagers sitting on your butt doing nothing.
Yeah.
And have you? Why don't you tell us about that bat and if you've sold it yet?
I've not sold it yet. I was originally asking 1,500, and I recently lowered it down to 1,100. Multiple offers from Chad Pagel himself. Uh, all low ball offers, of course. And so now it's at 1,100. I'll probably lower it down to 1,000 in the next week or so, but not sold yet.
Okay.
And if you guys don't know about the bat, it's a 1930s old Red Sox player, Jimmy Fox. It's a rare bat that I got at a yard sale for $5.
Yep. We just had You got everybody laughing about Chad. And okay, oh, wait. What are you passionate about in reselling? What part do you like best?
Oof. I think the hunting for sure. Hunting for the items and finding the items are it's like a treasure hunt. That's definitely my favorite part is going out and actually digging for the items and finding them in old boxes and stuff. That's got to be the coolest part.
Okay, so basically going with your dad and stuff. That you're passionate for reselling after the fact when you saw you can make some money.
Yeah, of course. Like all the other kids, you have to be 16 to get a job, and I'm 14, so that's still 2 more years I need to get a job. So if I can use this for 2 years, maybe even longer, that's my job for now. So if I can make money like this, I'm happy. That's awesome.
Well, you never know. You make enough money, you might not even need you might not need what they call a real job. You have a job,
Yeah.
like everybody else. And what difficulties have you come across as a teenager doing this business? Besides the fact that you're 16, so you need your parents' name on eBay or Amazon as a seller.
Obviously, no car. That's one of the biggest drawbacks. Is oh, I found this big Craigslist deal, a bunch of old video games. I can make a killing off it. But wait, my dad's taking my little brother to baseball. My mom's at work. No car, so can't get that deal. And then it's gone the next day. So you lose out on some stuff, and there's some sales you miss. There's some flea markets you can't go to, but it all works out at the end of the day. You're gonna make some kind of money someday. And again, like space, there's not enough space. I can't get a warehouse or something. I can't get extra storage. I mean, I have my room, I have my closet, I have some garage, the basement, but still, I could use some more space.
Okay. Pet Henry wants to know, where did you find a bat?
I found that at a yard sale actually for $5. It was up against with some other bats, and there was a little bat logo on it, so I thought it looked cool, like a winged bat. So I thought it'd be cool. I mean, I like Batman, I like superheroes and stuff, so I was like, hey, that looks cool. Maybe just have that inside my room. I didn't realize it was worth $1,000 at the time, but now I do, so I'm happy with that.
And you brought up about your parents driving your younger brother to baseball and doing all these other travels with the cars. Have you thought of hiring your parents to be your driver to get you somewhere and pay them toward the gas or part of your sales as a payment so you can basically hire your parents to work for you?
uh, Not really, but sometimes if I go out there and I know I'm making a lot of money, I'll toss them a few bucks, like, maybe a 20 or something for the ride and stuff. So every so often, not all the time, but every so often.
Well, the reason I asked is I don't know if you've seen it. There's a kid, I don't know how old he is now, but he's an actual picker, but he's called the youngest picker, and they did a news story on him, and I think he's out in California. He actually hired his parents to work for him because he does all the antique shows and selling and stuff. So his parents literally work for their son.
Yeah, so not really. Every so often is my answer for that one, I guess.
Okay, what comes first, packing it or schoolwork?
Um, the thing with our family, or me and my dad's business, whatever, is on the weekends I pack my stuff, and then during the school week I would give him my items. He'd pack it while I'm at school, and then ship it out while I'm at school. So I don't really do that much packing. So,
Oh,
but
so you did hire your dad. You just didn't know it.
yeah, but I'm not really paying him to do it.
Well, you're paying him well. He's
He takes
maybe
a little bit
maybe
of
if he
profits.
catches this show, he'll say, "Yeah, well, wait a minute, you guys start paying me for this work."
He'll probably say that to me tomorrow.
Let's see. Let's see. What Righteous wants to know, what's your favorite system to sell?
Uh, to sell, I would have to say the N64 because it's an easy sell. Every time you sell it, you're gonna get someone who's in their 20s to 30s, and they're nice. They're friendly. They come easy. if you list it, they're gonna come there and the next, like on OfferUp or Craigslist. That's where I sell my systems usually. So someone's gonna come the next day and they're gonna be 20 or 30. They're gonna be all nice and they're gonna hand you the cash and walk off. And it's an easy sell. It's one of my easiest systems to sell.
Have you ever done repairs on systems that you got that weren't necessarily 100%?
Yeah, every so often, like if an old Nintendo doesn't work, I'll replace the pin connector so it works easier, and it costs me maybe $10, and then I can sell it as working for 60 or 70.
Okay, and well, you kind of answered the packing part, but what about the listing and everything else? How do you juggle that with your schoolwork when you're home? Like, you put 2 hours for the work and then the rest for school, or?
Right when I come home, I have maybe an hour or 2 hours of homework, so I get that done, and then from let's say 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, I usually list. I set up a white towel and put my items on there and just take pictures from above after I'm done the homework. So schoolwork would be first, I would guess.
Well, you list while you're watching the shows.
Yeah. I always put on some shows and list after I'm done my homework. I put on uh, just someone's hour-long show or 20-minute show, whatever I can find.
Let's see. Mr. Sadie, can you explain what season you're talking about? He's asking what season it is. I think he's talking about the bat.
I'm not sure. I kind of say at the end of my videos, it's hunting season, so I don't know if he means that or not.
Okay, maybe he'll explain it. I see
Hopefully.
Margaret, Texas Cow Treasures, is coming in. Lisa, right, just wants to know what's the hardest repair you have done?
I would say opening up an NES. Like, it was the first NES I got, the Nintendo Entertainment System. I unscrewed it, I opened up the cover, and I really didn't know what to do because it was my first one repairing. And I just put it all, I like had some air compressor, whatever, like air in a can. I don't really know what it's called. I wiped down the board and all that stuff, and I couldn't really get it working, so I had to put it all back together. I had to put the screws where they were. I didn't know. I don't know. I think I might have put it back wrong, but that was definitely my hardest repair. I didn't really repair it, but I tried to at least, and it was very difficult.
Well, besides your parents helping out with traveling to get some stuff or your dad packing, do you have any other help with what you do?
No, that's really it.
So your brother's on his own?
Yeah, my little brother, he doesn't. I mean, every time I go to a big sale, he wants to come along. He gets a few things, but I have to end up posting it for him. I have to end up shipping it for him and all that stuff. And he just gets the money at the end.
You got to work on that commission then.
My dad said I can't take commission off him. He's too young.
Well, then you just have him do the work.
Maybe, yeah.
So you should talk to your dad and say, Dad, if I'm doing the work and he's going to spend the money to buy it, let's teach him how to do it too.
Yeah. I'll see about that.
Well, not trying to cause trouble. What you're saying, I'm just. If you're doing the work, just like anybody else, another family member comes to you saying, "List this for me," you're going to want to start getting some money out of it because what if you're dealing with the reputation, your business has the defects.
Yeah.
It doesn't go back on your brother; it goes back on you.
Yeah, of course. So I'll actually ask about that. See if I can get some commission.
Or you can just buy it from your brother and say, "Here, you want me to sell it? I'll pay you what you paid for it."
Yeah, maybe I will do that too. Just pay him back what he paid or something. Make some cash off it.
That's just an idea.
I might take that idea and use it.
Texas Scout Treasures said your commission is your room and board. Now we were talking about his 10-year-old brother to sell their Texas Gal. Let's see. I'm see if there's any more questions. Chad says $1,000 offer is not a low ball. So I think you responded to that, didn't you? I'm still trying to see if I can find. Okay, Righteous wants to know what items do you see most in your area?
I would have to say cameras and stuff. I see a lot of like video cameras and like actual photo cameras and stuff, just camcorders, whatever. It's usually there's probably about probably at least 8 at every sale I go to. There must be at least 8 to 10 every time I go to a sale. So I would say camcorders and stuff, video cameras.
And Pat Henry wants to know: do you sell on both Amazon and eBay, or just Amazon? eBay.
Just eBay for now. I might move on to Amazon and shortly. I just don't want to have to get into that big new ball game or whatever. I don't really want to have to. I don't know. It's gonna be a whole new ball game or a whole new world. I don't know. I don't really
Well, it's not
want
like
to.
you don't have enough people to learn from, though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I might get into it soon. But just eBay for right now.
Uh, well, besides the cameras that you see there, what kind of things do you sell?
I usually sell collectibles, so anything that is from toys to video games, comic books, and as well as like figurines, Legos, anything that people could collect or give as a gift, I think. Anything that's in the kid-friendly category, I would say. Something that relates to a kid. That's the stuff I kind of like at the moment.
Okay, Righteous wants to know what's the one item that you seem to find but never seem to make a deal on.
Um, I don't know. Is he asking like? I don't really know what he's asking. Does he mean
Well,
if
I
I
guess
want it?
like
Or,
well, either that, or I think he means like you see the same item at a lot of places, and for whatever reason, you decide not to jump
uh,
on it, even though because you may not know about it, you don't want to risk your money.
yeah, it's usually when I see all the stuff that's common. Uh, Besides, if it's not in my area of expertise, or whatever, I usually pass on it. It could be worth thousands, but I don't really know much about it, so I don't really want to take a gamble or something. Even if it's $1, I just don't know that much about it to put money down on it.
Okay, see if there's and Ronnie Hart's is in the comments. He asked this question. I know he's joking around with you. He's asking, or he says, where he had a question mark. Kyle is the best picker in Massachusetts.
No, no, no. Ronnie is. Ronnie has won that spot. I'll give it to Ronnie.
Chad wants to know, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Uh, where do I see myself in 5 years? I would say in 5 years, I'm gonna be going to college probably, so I'm gonna be selling off a lot of my stuff like crazy. So I'm gonna be listing a lot on eBay. I hope to have at least, I don't know, maybe like 200,000 invested into my business or my eBay business, maybe even Amazon at that time. But yeah, I hope to see myself with at least 200,000 invested in the business, and yeah.
Do you see yourself being a second generation college picker? And I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but he's one of the admins for the green room. He actually drifted through college.
I don't think I've ever heard of him.
Well, you have to look him up on YouTube when you're not working and stuff
All
like
right.
that.
But yeah, I still probably want to be picking and reselling, if that's what you meant.
Yeah, well, I didn't know if you knew who he was. That's why I threw his name out there. He goes by the college picker.
Yeah, I've never heard of him. Sorry.
Uh-oh, Michael Pierce forgot he was cooking rice and burnt it. Pat Henry wants to know, are you a Red Sox fan?
Of course, every Massachusetts person has to be a Red Sox fan. I go to the games every so often, maybe twice a year. Not that often. I'm not a every so often. I'm not crazy into baseball, but when I go, it's fun. So yeah, I'm a Red Sox fan.
Okay. Do you out of the things that you sell? Do you find certain things seem to sell faster for you than other people?
Uh, I guess some of my items that sell fast are big bundles. Like if you have a big bundle of stuff, it usually sells quick. If you put a video game console with 10 games, it's gonna sell. If you put a boxed console with 10 games, it's gonna sell instantly. It sells within a day for me usually. Or if I put a big bundle of comics for half the value, it's gonna sell. Or if I put a big bunch of action figures in a bundle, it's gonna sell within a day. Those usually sell instantly. Bundles.
Yeah, so you actually try selling more bundles than you do individual stuff.
Uh, I usually do if I have a big bundle of stuff that is all related and all, you know, if it's like a big bundle, let's say Pokemon figures, I'm gonna sell that as one instead of listing each figure for $4 a piece because it depends on the value. If it's worth $10 a piece, then I'm gonna probably sell them individually. But if they're worth under $5, I'll probably just get rid of them in a big bundle or whatever. Depends on the price. I would have to say the individual value.
Uh, hold on, I'm gonna try to get rid of a. I'm blocking a certain user.
I see that guy. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, so let's see. You already quickly answered this one. The platforms you sell on are eBay, OfferUp, and Craigslist, basically.
Yep.
And which do you feel does best for you?
eBay, and then OfferUp, and then Craigslist at the end. So eBay number one, OfferUp number two, and then Craigslist number three.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so basically your sports are your other hobbies like hockey and stuff like that, or is there other hobbies you have?
I do play the drums, and I have drum lessons once a week for an hour, and then we usually have a concert once a year. So I play the drums. That's one of my biggest hobbies.
Well, you may have to take one of your drum solos and put it on YouTube and see how many hits you get.
Maybe.
Okay, and let's see. Okay, people, don't forget you got a guest here to talk to and ask questions from. You don't have to feed the trolls. That's why I blocked them or tried to. Okay, and you already answered this one because Chad asked it. Well, you already answered what was in 5 years ago. What's your immediate goals for like this coming year?
Oof. I would say some goals that are not necessarily related to eBay, because if you guys know, I have a video game collection from that range from like the 80s to now. So I would say to probably complete at least one system. By that I mean getting all the games that were ever produced for that system. I'm probably gonna start off with the Nintendo 64. I think that's only like 236 games or something. So that's not gonna be that hard. That's my goal, I guess, to finish off at least having every game for one system.
Well, how many games do you have of it so far?
I might have like 15.
Well, then you have a lot of work ahead of you,
Yes.
especially when you go for the higher priced ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find those quick because N64 is going up in value, so I need to jump on that soon.
Okay, for the people that don't know, why is the N64 going up in value?
Because people that had it when they were a kid are now in their 20s, 30s, and they kind of want their childhood back. They want their old games back. So now they're all trying to find their games, and everyone is collecting video games right now. It's one of the biggest things to collect for, I would say. And um, everyone that's young had an N64, and now they're all just trying to get them back.
Okay, let's see if there's any more questions. Oh, here's one. Mr. Seeley said, "Is there a reseller you look up to, or do you have a mentor?"
There's this, not necessarily a reseller, but there's some people that I think are polite and they are, they find some cool things. So
Okay. Righteous reseller. I didn't catch this one until just now. Ask what is. Wait. Let's see. I don't know if you saw it. So if you, he's asking. What's your favorite theme to pick? Star Wars, X-Men, Avengers?
I would say Star Wars.
Well, you better start saving some of it. So, especially with this new movie coming out, you're gonna have to start looking for more stuff.
Yeah.
Pat Henry wants to know: Do you shop at thrift stores?
Every so often, yeah, maybe once a month, just stop by to see what they have. For the stuff I'm interested in, they don't really have that good of stuff. But yeah, every so often, I guess would be my answer for that.
Plana, uh, Plana Fishhead says Dreamcast had a short run, but there are some good titles too. So, I don't know if you're into Dreamcast.
Yeah, a little bit. It's one of the Sega's consoles that's not that known.
Okay, well, we answered this next question with about when your parents are around and you're able to drive you. Have you ever thought of, or have you rode your bike to, say, a mile away or something to look at a deal or something like that?
Oh yeah, plenty of times. If there's a yard sale within 2 miles, I usually ride my bike. Sometimes I've had a bag full of old, like, big dictionaries and stuff that were worth money. So I've had bags over my shoulders loaded with stuff on the busy streets and stuff. So yeah, I usually go if it's
And
in
have you
two
ever thought,
miles.
well, I guess,
What?
say, what about taking a cab? Like, at least to say you want to go, like that one yard sale that you said that had a lot of stuff, or that Craigslist deal. If you had the money, you could have at least maybe taken a cab there and then taken a cab back.
I haven't considered that, but that might be a smart idea actually.
Well, you got to make sure you have the money first.
Yeah.
Especially if you all of a sudden like everything, you're like, okay, I'm gonna buy you the whole yard sale out or a certain
Yeah.
section out. You're gonna have a hard time carrying it all back on your bike.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mr. Sadie wants to know: Have you tried live auctions?
Not live auctions online, but in person. It's usually obviously a live auction. So not online.
And he also wants to know. Well, I think we already answered this, Mr. Sadie, but he wants to know, where do you sell?
eBay, OfferUp, and Craigslist.
Coco Chanel says you can always get a basket for your bike too.
Oh yeah, I should probably actually get that soon. It's not a bad idea.
Okay. What about when the weather's snowing and everything else? When it starts getting worse up there, except it hasn't snowed there yet, has it?
Nope, no snow yet.
So what are you gonna do when it does snow? And how are you gonna get around to get inventory besides Craigslist if you can't? Are you gonna use Facebook groups and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'd probably use Facebook groups, and I'd also sell off some of the old stuff I have in the closet that's building up. I'd have to dig through what I have.
Let's see. Now, Mr. Sadie, I'm not biting your head off. I'm just saying I thought we covered it, so I'm just giving him a chance to repeat himself. Righteous wants to know: Do you see this developing into a serious full-time job?
It depends how it works out in the next few years. Like right now, I mean, I'm really getting serious about it. I've been doing it since obviously I was 10, but I was just, as a hobby, as a little side, get some money in. But now I'm actually thinking about it seriously. So maybe I'll see how it goes in a year or two. at the money I'm making right now, I don't think I could turn this into a full-time job. Maybe in 2 years, I think I might be able to, depending on how it works out.
Well, it's kind of hard to do it when you don't have a car.
Yeah.
So trust me, why do you think my name's Walking Pickle? I don't have a vehicle either. So I walk or I take a bus to most of my thrift stores close by or yard sales. I won't travel this outside of town unless something seriously catches my eye that I'm willing to take a bus ride and look at.
Okay. So yeah, it's tough when you don't have a vehicle. But yeah.
Okay, let's see if there's any more questions here. Coco said, or even tag along a trailer like you would haul a child in.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you're going to go, when you hit 18, you're going to go to college. So what are you thinking of majoring in college, or are you going to go for liberal arts?
I want to be in like the electronics area of business. So probably my main goal is actually like being like a movie editor or something that, like Hollywood, just editing movies and having special effects in movies and stuff like that. That's my dream job, sort of. But I'll probably just be electronics, something that has to do with the new technology business and stuff like that.
Mr. Sadie wants to know, what areas of reselling would you like to learn more about?
I would say the stereos and stuff, all the speakers and the record players and the whatever, all those little radios and stuff that Chad does. I think I'd like to learn more about that because there's definitely some money to be made there.
Okay. Well, I think you already kind of answered this question. So reselling, you're thinking, you're not definite, but you're thinking in your future.
I kind of lost you for a second. Could you repeat that?
We answered it kind of, but for the future, you're thinking possible part-time reselling until you can either get everything situated the way you want to, or you're going to try jumping full-time reselling even when you're in college.
I'd probably say part-time until I don't have anywhere else or something like that. So if I can find a job that's, I don't know, if I can find something that I really, really want to do, this is fun. But if I can find something that's really where I fall into place and I like for sure, then I'll probably do this part-time.
Okay. Outside. I just want walking. My next question for you is, how does your mom and dad and your family feel about reselling?
My brothers want to learn more about it. My dad does it too. He enjoys it. My mom doesn't really like it. She thinks we're bringing in trash and junk into the house. But then when we sell it for more, we always prove her wrong.
Well, have you ever asked her to sit and watch a video or something like that that might help her understand it from?
No, but I probably should do that. Then maybe she'll change her mind about it.
Like I said, if you say you show her a Chad show or somebody show that's giving the information, saying, "Yeah, we're in our 40s, our 30s doing this, or we're making the money." Like Ronnie, you can show her he's making $10,000 at least a month
Yeah.
just doing yard clothes, more or less. So
Yeah.
you'll give her an understanding of where you're coming from with what you want to do. then she may support you more.
Probably, yeah.
Let's see. Righteous wants to know what is your best sale you've had lately?
My best sale lately would probably have to be some Pokemon figures. I got them from a friend. I was selling them for him, the commission, and he said I could have them for $30, but then I thought that was too high, so I didn't want to buy it. I ended up asking Righteous actually how much they were worth, and he said I could probably get 150 for them. So I listed them for 150. They sold the next day, so now I can probably keep about $40 of the profits, and my friend will get 100. So I think that's my best sale, one of my highest sales of the past week.
And Michael Pierce wants to know, and he says, don't answer wrong. Waffles or pancakes?
Waffles, for sure.
Do you know any other teen resellers? And are you, if you do, are you about to able to get together for fun and chat like we do on YouTube or in a little small group personally?
No, I don't really know anyone else. Some of my friends are starting to get into it after I showed them my channel and that I make money off this. They're starting to get into it. They want to try it out and stuff. So I got to talk to them about it. I get to give them advice. So that's cool, but not online now.
Okay. Well, basically, got to my questions, and I'm checking to see if there's any more. Let's see. I don't think we can answer Uncle Giovanni's question. He wants to know how much should one save for a road trip. No, seriousness. But since you don't go on travels, it's kind of hard to.
Yeah.
And I don't go on road trips, though. Or at least I haven't yet. Would you try getting your other friends into this? Like, have they seen what you do and said they wanted to learn something from you?
Yeah, like they watch my videos and stuff, and I tell them, since we can't get a job for another 2 years, you guys can make some money from this. And they want to know more about it. They want to know, hey, how do I get the stuff? Can you help me make an eBay? Can you help me get some items and stuff like that? So they're very curious about it. They want to know more, and we might see a lot more teen resellers in the business.
Well, I also know you're, and the reason I know is because you posted this, and this is how I got you to come on here, is that you are wanting to start your own show. What are you thinking of it being about and stuff like that?
So at first I was thinking of being like collectors based and like giving advice on items related that are collectibles. We're just going to tell people, hey, how do you sell? We're going to give them advice on how to sell the collectibles, where to find the collectibles, and pretty much stuff related to collectibles, I would say.
You
Yeah,
want to do a teen version of the Collector's Catacomb.
pretty much, yeah.
That's how I was wondering when you mentioned that. I'm like, that sounded a lot like a catacomb show. Let's see. Justin Starkson wants to know, and he says, sorry if you answered earlier, what is your best sale?
For this one, I'll say my best sale of all time, which was some old wrestling cards from the 90s. And inside the packs, there were like sealed boxes. And if you open them up, you could find some autographs of some famous people like Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Randy Savage, so some old big people like that. So I ended up selling. I paid $90 for 6 boxes, and they were all sealed. And I sold them on eBay for. I listed them for 1,000. Someone gave me an offer of 800, probably a month down the road. So I ended up taking that. And the person ended up opening up the boxes. They found some pretty cool autographs. They found a Macho Man that was worth like $300. So that was awesome. But yeah, I made money on it for sure. That was my biggest score of all time.
Well, you might want to be careful getting Hulk Hogan now. I don't know how hot he's gonna be.
It's like
What's gonna go on
2,000.
his life?
Yeah, he's worth like $2,000 if you could find that one.
Rick just wants to know what's the best day you had while picking.
The best day I had?
Yep.
I don't really know. The best day I had while picking. I didn't really find. There's probably some Sega Genesis games that if you guys found. I made a video on like 10 my best sale find. I mean, they were worth like 200, maybe 150. So that was my biggest score at a sale so far.
Okay. Jerry Vintage wants to know what advice would you give to teenagers trying to get into reselling?
My best advice would be always give some low kind of offers when you go to a yard sale, because the old people having a yard sale, or the old ladies, they're gonna think, oh, it's just a young little kid, give them a deal. So if they're asking $5 for something, you say, can I have this for $1? You put on a little cute little face, you'll get it for $1, so you can make some good money there. That's why you got to get it while you're young. In the next probably 2 years, 3 years, I'm not gonna be able to do that anymore, but you gotta do it while you last. So I usually have my little brother go in there and ask it for $1, and then I end up paying him the $1 back, and then I get the item.
Well, to say, you're getting a couple of compliments. Pat Henry says they are very impressed with this young man. So.
Thank you, Pat.
Oh, and I see Mr. Dwayne shows up 45 minutes late. Uh-oh. Dwayne, you should know the routine by now. Okay. You have anything that you want to add that you might plug, or any other tips that you might want to, that you've picked up that the older generation, may not have known about?
I think everyone knows everything. I don't know. I don't really have any other advice that you guys probably don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Okay. Well, we got about 15 more minutes till the hour is up, so I'm trying. We're gonna see if there's any more questions. I know Kyle did say he would be interested in doing an after show for about 30 minutes. Because that's about his. I think that's near his bedtime or
Yeah.
limit of the night. So, and we have Brian Domino says hi. Hello, so hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Okay, here's a good question. I
Yeah.
don't know why I didn't ask it earlier. Steven Scroggins wants to know, do you play the young boy card at yard sales or other places to get prices down?
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, I do it at yard sales. Like, I put on the little cute face, oh, can I have this for $1? And then see what happens. I try it at flea markets, on Craigslist. I usually say that. I say, if I'm buying some video games, I say, oh, I'm just a young collector. I don't have that much money. I tell them my age, and they say, oh, they give me half off or whatever. They give me a great deal sometimes. So, yeah, every so often. A lot of the time, actually. But
And Mr. Starcher wants to know, any bad mistakes?
I would say once I went to a tool auction with my dad. It was all like all these different wrenches and all these nails and tools that I don't know, just a bunch of tools and stuff. So there was a box in the back that I made a bid on for $50. I didn't know much about tools. I really didn't know anything about tools at that time, and the only reason I bid on it was for some tobacco tins that the screws and nails were in. Uh, so I ended up selling the tins. I made my money back, but it took me a while to sell the tins. It took me a while to sell the nails and all that tool stuff. I didn't really want to deal with it. So I guess I'm not going back to that tool auction because I don't know anything about it. My dad just go. He knows what to do.
And Dwayne wants to know, what's your biggest flop, best learning experience?
The biggest flop, I would say, was the tool auction, and my best learning experience, again, probably was the tool auction because I learned, I can't buy things that I really don't know too much about because it's too much of a risk for my money.
So how long will it take you to start saying, okay, I'm knowledgeable enough in this area that I can take chances somewhere else to, so say you already know how good you are at video games and whatnot. So say you
Yeah.
might get into a little bit of clothes. Are you going to say, okay, I can make up my money here to learn something here?
I would probably say after 6 months or a year, after I think I've learned enough about it to move on to the next thing, I have to find something that I like or whatever is hot right now, the hot item. Like I did comic books, and then I watched this show on television about toys and like action figures and stuff. So I was like, hey, maybe I should try that. I ended up doing that for probably 6 months. So now I know a good deal of toys. Then I moved to video games. I think I've been doing this for 2, 3 months. So maybe in 3 more months I'll try something new.
So this is your first full year reselling, or have you been? Oh yeah, you said 10 years. 10 years old, you were going to auctions. Duh. Well, let's see. Let's see. Dwayne says I'm going to start asking for a senior discount. Okay. Pat Henry wants to know, what action figure did the best for you?
The best action figure was the New Kids on the Block. I had like the whole set of however many there were, and I think I paid 30. I ended up selling close to 100 for the whole set, and they're all in the box and stuff. So band figures, I would guess, like instruments or singers, TV stars, anything within the musical category.
Oh, so you mean like Selena, so you can sell to Chad.
Yeah. If I find it, I'm gonna buy it and make sure Chad pays some good money for it.
Well, do you have any questions for me that you may not know? Because I know you just started watching my channel
Yeah.
last week.
I was just wondering, like, when did you start reselling?
I started in 2005, but until everything was going on with my wife and our medical situation, we were getting more serious when we got out here from New York. So, and we got out here in 08.
Okay.
So you're talking to another Northeasterner.
And then another question I might have would be, what do you sell?
Anything that I can make money on.
All right.
I don't have a set niche because, like other people, I like to get into different things and learn. So I got patterns that I have up. I have clothes. I learn from other YouTubers to see what to look for and go from there and see what's going on. So what sells better, I'll look for when I'm out again.
Okay. I think that's really all I wanted to get through.
Let's see. Pat Henry says, unrelated to resale, do you have a favorite drummer or band?
Right now, my favorite band has to be not necessarily a band, but Bon Jovi is one of my favorite singers right now. And then for the band, I would have to say The Who at the moment.
Seems certain people want to be blocked tonight, but that's okay.
A lot of trolls.
Yep. Well, we got 10 more minutes unless you have anything that you want to talk But anything else on your mind that you want to bring up in the next 10 minutes? Oh, speaking of, Mr. Chad, apparently he wants to come in. Hey there, Chad.
Looks like his mic's off.
Oh, he's probably waiting for the after show. Or he wants to come in and tell me to kick some people, which I've already been doing. Mothership Dwayne says, dude, you are acting way too old to be that damn young. The who?
I don't know. I like the old music. I feel like our new music is just but the old music is kind of cool.
Chad said in our private chat, he's just waiting for the after show to start.
Oh.
Any more questions for Mr. Kyle here? Give him a few minutes. Well, besides Chad and Dusty and those guys, are there other YouTubers that you're going to start wanting to watch now and see? Like, you said you didn't know about the college picker, but a lot of us older YouTubers and watchers have heard about them. So is there anybody else that you think, anybody you would want to have ideas to watch as well?
Well, I just started watching Rake and Profit. I don't know if you guys know him or not, but I think he's with the Green Room and stuff. He's doing like some kind of vlog thing where he's like going all over the country. So it's kind of cool. I mean, he goes like he films every day and just goes to pawn shops and stuff. So he's one of my newest YouTubers I'm watching right now.
Yeah, I had Steve on when I was doing my show on the Sunday nights. He came on and talked about some clothes, even though he's not into clothes that much anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's making a comment now. You're getting brownie points by shouting out raking. Okay, well, there's another teen that I think you might want to watch some of his older videos, if he still has them up. Is look up the name Mr. Retro Josh.
Yeah, you told me about him yesterday in the message we were having, so I ended up watching a few of his videos. I'll have to watch some more.
Yeah, he actually bought his car from his eBay sales.
Huh.
So
I'm saving up for a car too with my eBay sales.
Everybody's saying they want Chad now. Any more last minute questions for Mr. Kyle?
Oh, Chad's here. He went back.
Yeah, he just did a quick peek. And if there are no more questions, I will be ending the show. I want to thank all 20 plus viewers that we've hit tonight. I seem to draw the same amount no matter what night I do a show, so Sunday or Wednesday. As I said, I haven't decided on what's going on for next Wednesday for the Christmas break and New Year's for the 30th. And after the 4th, I still don't know what I'm going to be doing then either. It depends on how the wife feels after her surgery. So I will let everybody know what's going on in that time frame. Kyle, I want to thank you for being on, especially when it was basically a last-minute request.
Thank you for having me. That's all I gotta say. It's been awesome. I was really nervous coming here, but it ended up being fun, so I'm happy.
Okay. Well, Rachel says we got up to 27 viewers. Okay, I'm gonna end this and post a link in the after show since Mike just showed up. All right, everybody. Bye.
Bye.